Hey everyone, welcome to this lesson. So in this lesson, quickly, I want to talk a little bit about debugging before we go and create our fun little program and project for this section. Debugging is a huge part of Python, and when you write a long program and when you have like thousands of lines of code, you will definitely make mistakes. As you saw in this section, I did make a few mistakes even when it comes to the simplest codes. So just want you to remember that people do make mistakes, and you will make mistakes. And sometimes when you get to more complicated logics, you will get to a point where you will have like errors and things like that, like compiling errors. So what I want to do in this video is I want to get you familiar with these things. And also what I want to do is I want to explain like how do you actually investigate these things, because finding errors in a coding program, like coding errors, actually like figuring it out is not that hard. You just have to obviously understand the program, which again, if you've written it, so like you're gonna be fine. But again, you just have to do some research. So in this case, we have a very simple thing here. It is a variable, asks for input, password, and then it's gonna print, hey, welcome to the system username. So that's pretty much it, right? So let's make this an error. Let's give it an error. So if I just give it a space here, obviously this is not gonna not gonna compile. As see, we got the squiggly line under it, and it says unexpected indent, right? So if I run this, we're going to get an error. And take a look. So one of the things I can do, first of all, you want to pay attention, is that it's going to tell you the file that is causing the error, because in Python you do have a lot of files, and you can have multiple files, and you can refer to those files, to those codes in the files, which again we will talk about. Because when you get to the more complicated programs, you're not going to write an entire, like, let's say project, a huge project on a single file or a single page of Python code. So like that's just something you want to remember. But so it's going to tell you the file, and then it's going to tell you where this is happening, right, and the line of it, and also it's going to tell you what is the problem. So like again, it's this username line, right, and it's telling me identification error, unexpected indent. So if you don't know what this means, you can actually Google this, and you're going to essentially get an answer for it. Either like answers like this, because this is a very common error, that's where you get answers like this. But another place that you can find answers all the time is Stack Overflow. That's where that's where a lot of programmers come in and like answer questions, help other people. And again, when you become an expert programmer, I strongly recommend you to actually help out other people. That way, you can help other fellow programmers, right? So yeah, like you can get a lot of answers here. So again, people are telling you, hey, more space. This line of code has more spaces at the start than the one before. Now, this is like more programmer way of explaining it. Essentially, this means that there is a space that you should not have. Now, let me tell you something about indents. All right. So in program, when we get to more complicated subjects, for example, when we get to like, let's say, ifs and like else and all that stuff, for example, if something is something, when you go to the next line, you're gonna write it like this. You're gonna have a space. As you see, you're gonna have a space, and you're gonna continue writing like this. For example, when we get to if statements, you're not gonna type the continue of that code in the same like line right below it. You're gonna have a space like this, right? So, and this is what this means essentially, is that, and when you actually go down through the code, when you write more, you're gonna write them like this essentially. So the idea with this is that these spaces are basically, you can imagine like the file tree, is that this is the main tree, and then this goes under this, and then this goes under this one, and then this goes under this one. So the point here is that you got to get the spaces right, so you tell the program which code belongs to like which code. It's basically which one is the subtree of the other one. So that part is very important. When you have a space like this, where it doesn't belong, because this is like, there's literally nothing on top of it, and even if there was, it wouldn't make sense, right? For example, if I give a space to here, this is not going to make sense either, because what is this exactly, right? This is not a portion of like something that is supposed to have a space. So that's where you get all these errors. So again, guys, one of the things you can do, you can always like investigate these things. I'm going to talk a lot about a few errors later on. Also, we have some of the errors covered in the cheat sheet if you take a look at them, and that's, again, those are more advanced stuff, but like, you know, you can actually take a look at some of them. But yeah, Stack Overflow is a really great place. I strongly recommend you to actually make an account if you don't have it already. You know, just you can log in, take a look at it, and yeah, it's a really great place to get some answers. So yeah, so again, that's how you might want to investigate some stuff. But again, keep in mind, be careful with spaces and things like that. So another one that you can get, let's actually run this. So this should work now, right? So username, password, and then again there that. So anyways, so another kind of error that you can get is a syntax error. So for example, if I have this print statement, and if I take out this quotation mark at the end, that's gonna mess the whole thing up, right? So now what's gonna happen is that this program is gonna think, okay, we want to print this entire thing, right? But this parenthesis is closed, but we actually don't have a quotation mark at the end of it, and it's going to tell me, wait a minute, that's not right. You know, if I actually hover, and as you see this squiggly line, I'm not sure if I can, there you go, EOL while scanning string literal. So this doesn't mean anything, right? Like, it's really confusing, but if you actually Google it, it's going to tell you exactly what this means. Making sure the end of the quotation marks are in place. See, guys, and again, these are really common errors. So you see like the answer just like this, but again, when you get to more complicated errors, you can actually check them out on Stack Overflow, and people are kindly explaining exactly what is going on. And again, if you don't know, if there's something complicated that you come across, you can always ask a question. It's so awesome, right? Again, that's one of the places that I hang out all the time, and I just like, you know, get answers and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So again, I want to actually teach you some debugging. So, and this is just gonna kind of confirm your knowledge, you know, based on everything we have learned so far when it comes to string manipulation, input, you know, variables, and like print and all that stuff. So I have a practice for you in the next video or next lesson, where we have some like code that are pretty much wrong, and I want you to fix them. All right, guys. So take a look at it. I'll talk to you in the next video as well. But take a look at it, and you know, to kind of just confirm and verify your knowledge based on everything we've talked about so far. And then we're gonna go ahead and create our little fun project. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.